Candid Kaya. Today we're here for another episode of my new series, Quarantine Convos. Quarantine Convos, formerly known for a whole day as Corona Conversations, but I changed the name. So welcome to Quarantine Convos this episode. And today we have my friend, flight attendant, entrepreneur. What else are you? You're everything. Basically, she's everything. Borley here to just chat with us today. So stay tuned.
Quarantine hug. At the end, we should quarantine hug.
Quarantine hug.
Social distance.
All right, Borley, just let's start with, you guys already have seen her in my other interviews, I'm sure. She's done a couple on the channel. Did one about her book. Oh yeah, author. Hold up, another name, author. We did one on Worth the Wahala, and we did one on how to become a flight attendant. So you can catch her there. But let's just start with that, being that you are a flight attendant. Tell us about the impact this has had on the travel industry, in your opinion.
Well, I think that it's definitely had a huge impact, like on just I don't know. I think the only people that it's not affected negatively are whoever created hand sanitizer, and then the guy who created the masks. Like,
yeah, they're winning.
Yeah, like everyone else, I think has like been greatly affected. I was just in a hotel and they were like, yeah, I think there's less than 20 people in this whole hotel right now. They told me that they had to let go a lot of housekeepers, the lady one of the chefs, because they closed their restaurants, the people who wash laundry, and on our flights, like a lot of seats go empty. Like I was in the airport, there's a whole bunch of flights that were just canceled. So it's just a lot going on. So it's greatly affecting everyone, especially us. I mean, a lot of people are taking leaves. I think I saw on CNN that there was like a CEO of the airline that said that he was gonna forego 6 months of his salary, just like 100% of his salary. He's not gonna take it just to keep the airline going. So yeah, it's greatly affecting us. Yeah.
How is it affecting you as someone who loves traveling?
Well, I love traveling, and honestly, like in the beginning, I was like, this is cool. Like the planes are not as full. Like it makes the job a little bit easier, as a flight attendant. So I was like, I'm gonna just work a lot. Like I'm gonna pick up more trips and work a lot. But I think as everyone was talking about it, like it being more serious and you might have it, but you might not have symptoms. I was like, this is kind of dangerous. Like the job is easier with less people, but it's very high risk. So honestly, I took a month off. Like April, I won't be working. I took a leave because I'm like, until we figure out what's going on, So,
you don't care to go nowhere.
Yeah, and I was supposed to go on a trip with a line trip to celebrate 10 years in April, and we canceled that. Like, we don't even want to leave the country. There's people who are stuck in Peru right now because they closed the borders. Like, so you're just like, if everything, like, we're just changing so much on a day-to-day basis. It's kind of just like stay home, wait to see what happens. So can't even really travel. I tried to go to Ghana. They're not even going to let us sister in. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy.
No, seriously. I wanted to ask you, like, with all this free time, I know you're always working on something. What do you think you're going to work on? Like, what project are you starting with, only having 2 days to work?
Right. Well, I mean, being that school's canceled, we already clarified that in the last interview. School's canceled. It's virtual learning, basically. So basically, I mean school's canceled. So I have a lot of free time. So what I'm noticing, though, during the quarantine that actually is surprising me is that I'm scared to say it, but I lack some motivation.
Really?
I'm lacking motivation, and I'm like, I had 2 spring breaks basically, and I don't have a laundry list of things I accomplished. And so that's a good question that you're asking me, because it wasn't until maybe a day or 2 ago, I was like, I need to get up and do something. I mean, I'm not saying I was sitting here doing nothing. I'm just saying I wasn't motivated to do anything with that time necessarily that could be lucrative, basically. So what I've realized is, this is a great time to really let those creative juices flow. because you're confined to a space ultimately if you follow the rules. And so sometimes whenever you don't have any distractions, not a whole lot of people around you giving you input, is when you do your best thinking. So I really want to take more advantage of that during this time. And hopefully just do more with Candid Kaya. There's a lot of things when I got into business school that I said I was going to do that I just did not do because I had so much other things going on. And so now I'm kind of like, is this a sign? Like, you're telling me, maybe God is telling me, you know what, you got some time to work on things that you're passionate about, and I'm going to take away the big thing that took up all your time. And so I really want to make the best use and make sure all the things I said I was going to do, like make a business plan, make a business case, do more interviews weekly, that I actually take this time to do it. So that's really my main project, outside of trying to find a job, which is a project.
Dang. Okay, so what you just said is that you realize you lack a lot of motivation. And I feel like I can relate to that. And I think a lot of millennials and people who probably watch your show can relate to that as well. So how are you going to tackle that? Like being here on your couch, nobody's telling you what to do. Yeah. How are you going to get yourself to do it?
You know, and it's funny because me and my friend were literally just talking the other day about why do we lack motivation? Like, why? And honestly, just to be honest, it's like, you know how people be so passionate about something, they want to be something, and they practice that 8 hours a day, 24 hours a day. That's their craft. They want to perfect it because that's what they really want to happen ultimately in their lives. And I'm just like, you know, they grind. And I'm like, you know, if I really ask myself, what am I grinding for? Do I have an answer? And I don't know what the answer is because I can't say that I feel like I'm grinding for anything. And so when I put it out there like that, like, what am I willing to grind for? Am I grinding? Do I have a grind? Like, if I can't answer those questions, then that means you lack motivation to me. If you can't answer that straight off the bat, yes, I'm grinding for this, yes, I'm hustling for this, then you're not as motivated maybe as you think you are. And that was a realization I came to, honestly, during this quarantine season. And so how I'm going to really combat that is I'm going to find answers to those questions. A, I'm going to search for answers to those questions. And B, I'm just going to force myself. Like, I've been forcing myself to run a mile a day, and Lord knows I hate cardio. But I got to stay mentally stimulated in some way. But I'm also going to, you can be mentally stimulated by working out, of course, but also by being creative and utilizing your mind for things. So I'm just going to try and stay creative. Try and, if I have a thought, write it down. Be more aggressive about my ideas and be more ready to acknowledge those ideas and plan for them. Make more plans for what I expect, basically.
Good point. Good point. I love that. Okay. Wait, and can I just say this? I don't think you're giving yourself as much credit. I think as being in America, we're always pushed to go above and beyond, to be doing 50 things, to have 5 kids and have a business and be popping on Instagram. And Nakai, you, first of all, are about to graduate from a whole business school. You're a homeowner. You run a mile a day. Like
the last 3 days.
But still, that's something. Like, I think that, like, just stop, take a break, and give yourself credit. I think as you're used to, like, being at Spelman, having 50 things, like being,
that's real.
You know, traveling, like, internationally to Brazil, like, being, doing your MBA and your Candid Kaya and all these things and having a social life. And so it's like, it's totally different to just have to stop. So I think you should give yourself the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, I will.
You really kill the game. So this is the time where you just rest and relax and don't think you're unmotivated because you are motivated. You just...
Yeah, that's a good point. I do feel motivated, but I feel it lacking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, you can still feel like I have motivations, but it's just not... You're just not as exhilarated by those motivations. You know, they don't excite you as much as they did previously. Yeah. So that's what I mean by lacking motivation. A girl still motivated. You know, I got goals and like still ambitious, team ambitious. Yeah. But just lacking that little bit of motivation.
You think that you're lacking in, like, you know, finding what your purpose and passion is?
No.
Okay, good.
Not lacking in finding, you know, my purpose and passion. I think I identified those early, luckily. Just, you know, the energy, it's the vibes.
It's straight up motivation.
Okay. Yeah, the vibes just aren't there right now. Well, what are you working on? How do you feel about motivation? You feel motivated during this time?
But this happened like before quarantine. I felt like I was kind of like why can't I do more? But I also feel like God kind of had me in this weird season where He wanted me to like rest and just be still and study Him and like be reading because I have Aqua Adventures and I have my book and I'm always doing stuff, but I actually wasn't pushing anything. It's like I wasn't promoting anything. I didn't have anything new to like show the world or anything. And I think it was just because God was like, take a break and build your foundation in me and learn. Because, maybe they don't know, but I love the Lord and everything I do is rooted based on Him. So I think like my stillness and my quietness in that season, I felt like I wasn't motivated, like I wasn't doing enough, But I think it's because God had me in this place where it's like, you're not going to be out where people can see you. You're not going to be getting like, congratulations, because you're going to be reading your Bible today, you know?
Right.
So
That's a good point too you bring up that I was going to ask you next actually is about spirituality and how, with church cancellations, Bible study cancellations, everything being virtual, like how do you feel that's going to impact your spirituality and everyone else's really? What's your opinion on that?
So I can't speak for everyone else. You can tell me how you feel after this. But I feel like with me, it's grown my faith and it's made me step up as a leader or as a Christian. So like when I got fearful or, come on, we've never in our lifetimes, in our millennial lifetimes, experienced something like this where the whole world gets shut down. And when, like you said, I'm taking a leave off of work next month, so I'm not going to be getting paid from my job for next month. So it's a lot of uncertainty. We still have mortgage payments, we still have these things. And I think this is a very trying time, but I think I stepped up and allowed my faith to like take over, but then I also stepped up so that everyone else who's uncertain, who's coming to me, could see to push them so that their faith could also take over. So honestly, I think this is the time where we're all being squeezed and pressed, and the Bible says like a tree by its fruit. So it's like we're gonna be squeezed and see if we say we're Christians. When we're squeezed, we should have Christian juice. And like that should be like confidence and faith and not like fear and doubt. So I think with me, it's been nothing but good. It's brought me closer to God. I've done like Insta lives at noon every day to do prayer calls. And yeah, I feel like I'm like trusting God more and talking to Him more. And I think a lot of people are. But
you think that's because everything slowed down around you? Everything was moving so fast before, and now it's slowed down.
Yeah, and because it's like, what the heck? Like, we have no control over our lives. Like, you have the people who, like, are, like, what's his name? Mark Cuban, isn't he over on the Mavericks? He was making millions this year from his team. And now what's he going to make for the rest of the season because the season is canceled? That's a guy who everyone looks to for, like, he has all the answers, he has all the success, and he just lost on millions. Now, I don't know the intricacies of business. That could be you, to answer that. But this man who's made it, who has it all, just lost on millions. So our confidence can't be in making money or, like, no one's exempt from this. So I feel like with this, it's shown us that your confidence should be in Jesus. So to me, it's got me closer to Him. How do you feel like it's been with you?
Well, to be honest,
keep it real, sister.
I'm gonna keep it real because this is quarantine convos. To be honest, I do find myself to be very spiritual. Of course, I'm a member of a church. I try and go every Sunday.
You go. You be going.
I try to go every Sunday at least. Not you be posting it.
I can see it.
But for me, it's like there's something about being physical at church. And like being amongst everyone, being able to sit and listen. To me, I've never been a fan of necessarily worshiping outside, online, like not necessarily directly in the church. So I guess that's the new alternative. But there's just something for me spiritually that I look for weekly. Is that moment to go to church, get the word, get the vibe, be around other people who share the same vision and beliefs as me. There's something about physically being in that environment that to me speaks to me spiritually. And so having that kind of strapped or taken away a little bit or presented to you but in this alternative virtual form, it seems a little impersonal. I get that people still need the word, but it just seems a little impersonal. It just takes a little bit of what I was looking for out of it, or what I need out of it. To me, at this time, I get it. Got to stay away from people. Social distancing is important, but it's like there's still something that people need to kind of replenish their spirit every week, even when you are quarantined. And that was kind of my outlet. So to have it taken away, or not taken away, excuse me, but not as accessible, is a kind of a bummer. Because it's like, dang, especially in this time of need, when I'm quarantined, I'm gonna need something.
Yeah.
Something to give me a little bit of faith and keep me going, a little motivation. And I wish it could still be kind of what my regular daily schedule was. But, I adjust. So I guess I'll be tuning in on Sunday at 9:30.
And I love that you shared that. And I know it's not the same. It's just literally not the same. My church still met last week, so that's why I don't know what it's going to be like if and when we decide to cancel. But I would say this, and this is just my advice, and see if it works. Okay, so the Bible says where 2 or 3 are gathered in His name, He is in the midst. And while this is not the same, it's not going to be your whole, because you could go to a huge church, so it's just not going to be the same thing. But if you play your favorite worship songs, play like old school Kirk Franklin, or exactly, the vibe will be there. Play the songs that they used to play. Go find a live performance of a bomb. They be breaking it down like your favorite worship leader at a bomb conference where they went off script, they went ham, and everyone was just turned up worshiping. And find that on YouTube and create that atmosphere here. And I'm telling you, you have a sister who lives here. That's 2. Where 2 or more are gathered in His name, He's in the midst. And you play that music on your live TV, and you and your sister turn up and you say, God, meet us here. I'm telling you, you'll have more of a transformative pick-me-up experience than you could ever have that you guys will have at your church too. But I'm saying, because God will meet you here, right here, in your living room. It's like the King of Kings will meet you in your living room. Mm-hmm. And I just pray that it would be like a turn-up experience. And if you're just sitting here bawling your eyes out, honestly, there have been times when I'm bawling my eyes out, worshiping God when nobody's in my house, and I'm just circling around my couch with the music like Tasha Cobbs, or they have I'm gonna send you links, girl. But they have all this music, and I'm crying to God, just having a great good old time with Him, which I could never do at my church. Mm-hmm. So try that, and because we do need to pick me up, and they'll have so many lives. Join my little noon live
prayer call.
Exactly, my prayer call, and I'm telling you, that will pick you up too.
Okay, we're gonna tune in.
Yeah. So try that. But I get what you're saying. Community is everything. So this is a very strange time.
Very.
Yeah.
All right. So we've been talking for quite a while now. That's what happens on Quarantine Convos. But we're just during this season, hopefully it don't last too long. What are you hoping to just accomplish from it? If you could benefit in any way, what would it be?
That's such a good question, Natalia. I have no idea.
I don't either. I'm thinking about it. You asked me, do I know the answer?
I can't even say anything. What are you hoping to accomplish?
I guess I'm hoping to accomplish everything that I was hoping to accomplish before this season.
Yeah, you have a to-do list.
I had a to-do list. I'm hoping that I can still accomplish everything I was planning on. But also, I think what I really want to accomplish, this is going to sound cheesy, but it's more meditation. Because I have time. And sometimes when you have so much time, you get a little restless and anxiety because it's just can't go anywhere, you have a lot of time. But I want to practice sitting in that, right? How can I sit in this stillness? How can I find a peace of mind in this stillness? Something that I can apply when the world does become fast-paced again, which it will. How can I still be that woosah, calm person, which is something I can always practice because I'm always a little anxious.
Yeah.
So it's I really want to take advantage of this time to just be a little still and apply that in the future, really.
I love that. I think that's good. I think this time is gonna force you to figure out what you stand for and what you want to do when you don't have to do work, when you don't have so I think maybe that would be my thing. It's what would I do if everything was taken away from me? What do I want to do? I think so. That's probably what I would ask myself.
would y'all do? What would y'all
You
want
can't
to
do
learn from
anything.
this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So interesting. Well, you guys, thank you for tuning in to Quarantine Convos with me and Borley. We'll, of course, be back again for another video during this season.
Hopefully there won't be too many of these videos.
Hopefully there will be. That means I'm being creative and I'm motivated if you keep seeing
No,
it.
we want your videos, but we don't want quarantine videos because
Right.
we want things to be up and running.
We do. ASAP, Lord. ASAP.
But you guys have an awesome leader over here at Candid Kaya, so continue to watch all of her cute vids and stay tuned. I don't know what you're.
Well, thanks, friend. Thank you guys for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed today's combo and stay safe out there. We'll see you again next time.
Smooches.